Howdy, everyone. I hope you're having, again, a great time. Whenever day, whatever time, night, early evening, morning, afternoon. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. I am, of course, Landyn Zane, the host of your favorite podcast, your new favorite podcast, your just absolute favorite podcast. Hey, you're talking to your ma. Hey, ma, found this new podcast. Landyn Zane, for the record, he's going to be a pop star. He's funny. He's charming. He's humble. He's the full package. And that's it. That's the podcast. And I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we have a lot to talk about today. I definitely did not just change my pants and my shirt and just film the previous episode. This is absolutely a different day. It is not the same day. But we're just going to jump into what's new. Boy, is it starting to rain outside. It has rained more in California in the past, apparently, allegedly, since I have moved to California. It has rained more than it has in the past few years, which is quite annoying because I moved to California to get away from the bad weather. Granted, it hasn't snowed here. If it snowed here, I think honest to God, I'd probably just move again because I ain't having that. I got out of Iowa. I got the fuck out of Iowa. This is a random story, but when I moved to LA in early January. I left January 12th. That was my move day. I ended up leaving the 11th, the night of the 11th at like 10 p.m. because there was allegedly this snowstorm that was coming. Little did I know I would be driving through Bedlam, what can only be described as the reckoning, the second coming of whomever you believe in. It was bad. I'll put footage here. It was awful. Very, very, very well could have died. Good little memory in my head is just driving 30 miles an hour, not being able to see in front of me, not a car in sight with my hazards on, and just watching, being the only car on the road, fully sliding, can't see the lines in the traffic, can't see the lanes, can't see where I'm at on the road, can hardly see where the ditch is. Bad. And it's like 2 a.m. I decide to, drive slow, drive with my hazards on. I'm white knuckling. I'm fucking gripping it. I'm gripping that son bitch. Like, I'm not dying. I'm making it to LA. I'm going to be a pop star. I'm not dying in Iowa in a snowstorm. I rolled the car once. Don't need to do it again. I'm driving white knuckling, listening to probably an audiobook podcast because I'm a nerd. Look in my rearview mirror. I see two bright white headlights getting shockingly closer to me every minute. Because I was going 35 miles an hour, because if I would have gone any faster, I would have completely spun out, slid off the road, and died. I look up, I see the two headlights, and they're coming to me at a speed of what I can only assume was 40 to 50 miles an hour. Now, that doesn't sound fast, but when there is like 50, 40 mile an hour winds, however fast, being pelted with snow, it literally looks like God is up in heaven or whoever has dandruff and it's just going like this, just scratching their head. It's because you can't see shit. And this semi is moving far too fast, far too fast for me to be comfortable. So, as the semi draws closer, I realize, the semi not only is going too fast, but it, just like me, does not know which lane is which or where it is on the road. And if I do not find a way to somehow get out of the way completely and effectively stop and hug the shoulder or the middle median, I will be creamed by this semi because it will either swerve and jackknife and hit me. No bueno, no good. I don't know if you know what that means, but it's not a good situation. Or I can find a way to swerve and let this just lunatic that I'm almost positive I probably saw pulled over, of the many semis I saw fully in the ditch later, and somehow let this asshole get by me and let him seal his own demise. Somehow I managed that. I don't know how. Don't really remember it. I was awake for far too long, and by the time I made it to Texas, through the storm and everything, I had been awake for, I don't know, 36 hours? Not safe. Not safe. Necessary? Absolutely. Safe? Absolutely not. Not remotely. Not remotely safe. That was probably the most dangerous conditions I've ever driven in. That or when last year I drove through an active tornado for spring break. But that's regardless. We have stuff to talk about today because my queen, my wife of many, one of my many wives, Sabrina Carpenter, she dropped a absolute banger espresso yesterday. Wait, is it Saturday? It is Saturday. Oh, no, it's not Saturday. It's whatever day this comes out. It's that day. But she did drop espresso recently, yesterday. And let me tell you, oh my gosh, she did it again. That woman, I don't know what it is. That music video, she's like 4'10". Her cute, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. Like, God, she does something, man. She's like, thinking about me, yeah, I know, it's in my sweet espresso. And she's, I'm working late, because I'm a singer. Like, come on. Come on. She knows what she's doing. Between that and the clever little outros for nonsense and all her little innuendos and her cute little self, she knows what she's doing. Because, let me tell you, it's working. I can tell you that. Because if she does a show, well, if I can afford it, I would like to go. Granted, what's her boyfriend's name? Alleged boyfriend, I think. Barry Keegan? Coogan? The Irish guy. Yeah, he looks like he could break my neck with his, quad. So, probably not the best idea. Granted, I don't know why I'm acting like I have a shot with Sabrina Carpenter, but I'm going to be delusional and act like I do, because that is what we do here at For the Record. We are delusional because it is the only way to live life. That's it. Delulu is the only Salulu, as the kids say. You know, I can't believe I'm at an age now where I say, as the kids say, as a joke, and it's like an ironic joke, and I actually find it funny. That means I'm getting old, I think. Granted, I'm only 21, but I feel 90. Because, boy, this seems like there's, like, the world's ending every day. I just feel old. So I can't imagine how my 85-year-old grandpa feels. But I feel old. I don't know about y'all. But what else? Man, that's Sabrina Carpenter. And the Coachella, back to that. She was talking about Coachella. Or not talking about. She was performing at Coachella. There was the sign. I saw the little clip. There was a sign. A fan held the sign up. I think it was one of her friends. And the sign says, Sabrina, play espresso or something like that. And she goes, what does it say? I slept with your mom? And she's so that's so effortlessly funny. It's so dumb and it's so funny. And it's so my sense of humor. And I am in love with her. Anyways, we need to move on from that. I didn't say that. Sabrina, if you're watching, I know you're not, but if you are, actually, you are watching. I'm going to have confidence. I'm going to say, Sabrina, you're watching. How you doing? All right. What else is new? Last week, I talked about going to the Conan Gray show, buying the little poster. Where did it go? It's somewhere in here. Going to the Conan Gray show. It was awesome. He is so funny, and he's even an acoustic performance. He's a really good performer, and getting to see him play older songs from other albums, from past albums, and acoustic versions of like songs from Found Heaven. It was a good time. And they crammed people in that song, bitch. They crammed people in there. It was full. And that has to feel cool. Of like people are just there to see him. There was probably a few hundred people there. It was pretty cool. And then I bought a record. Well, I got the record. It came with the ticket. You bought the record, you get the ticket. You get to go. It was fun. I'm trying to think what else. What else is new? Okay. We can talk. I mentioned it was raining. Mentioned it before. I live in Burbank, California. It is April 12th, 13th. 13th. It is April 13th in Burbank, California. It should not be raining. I want warmth. I want sun. I want rays of sunshine. I want like the Wham song that sometimes, how's it go? Sometimes with the bass line, a ray of sunshine. I think that's how it goes. Okay. This is totally random, but Wham's first album, I don't know if y'all know about Wham. I hope you do. You guys obviously know, like, Careless Whisper, which is both a Wham and a George Michael song. And then, like, Wake Me Up Before You Go Go, and Everything She Wants. That song trends on TikTok a lot, and that is just a great song. And, like, Last Christmas. But if you go listen to that first Wham album, I think it is the best bad 80s album. It is bad. It is a bad album. And I love Andrew Wrigley, and I love George Michael. That first Wham record sucks. But it is so fun and so bad. Like, there's so much, like, 80s cheese and schlock, and it's very British, and I don't know, man. It's good. I like it. It's just interesting. And there's, like, Bad Boys, and bad boys stick together, never sad boys. Do-do-do-do-do. Wow, wow. What else? I don't know why I'm being quiet. I can be a little louder. I give myself permission to be louder. Thank you, Landon. Thank you for the permission. I appreciate it. There's like Bad Boys, Ray of Sunshine, Club Tropicana. Club Tropicana, drinks are free. There's just like a lot. It's a bad album. Like I said, it's the best bad 80s album, in my opinion, or one of. Or Wham's last album is actually like, I like a lot of the songs on there. A Different Corner comes to mind. Last Christmas is my favorite Christmas song. Absolutely number one. Best Christmas song is Last Christmas. There's a lot of good songs on their last album. Music from the Edge of Heaven. I have my records right here, right behind me. And I have a want list on like Discogs. And the album that has been on my want list to find in person and buy is Wham's last album. And it's been on my want list for vinyl since around the time my family went to London, which was almost 2 years ago at this point, which makes me violently depressed if I think about that enough, because that was the greatest trip of my life. It was amazing. London is as far as I'm concerned, the best place on the planet. Don't look at the history books if you really want to look into that and see what's happened there, but I'm going to stick to it and say that it is the best place on the planet. But I just love London. And Music from the Edge of Heaven, the album, has been on my want list for almost 2 years now, which is crazy. I don't know where I was going with that, but we're just here to vibe. Guys, look, if you're watching the video, you can see clearly. I'll sit up a little bit for you guys, but I'm looking a bit mangy. My hair looks decent right now because I kind of did it up a bit. Did it up a bit meaning I sprayed it with water to record this episode of the podcast. But my hair, I need a haircut, y'all. I need a haircut and I need a gym membership. Because I realized this is a dumb realization, but it's kind of like it's a no shit realization, but it's one that when I realized it, kind of, as Michael Jackson says, rocked my world. Oh wait, no, that's not a Michael Jackson song. Is that Justin Timberlake? No, that might be Michael Jackson. They both have no. Michael Jackson is Rock With You. I think Rock My World is Justin Timberlake. Oh, wait. No. Oh, You Rock My World is a Michael Jackson song. Oh, yeah. It's that. Okay, yeah. That's a Michael Jackson song. No, I do know that song. But as I was saying, I need a gym membership and a haircut. And I was thinking about it is that between living in Iowa during like most of my life and then graduating high school and moving to Texas and going to college and then moving back to Iowa, through all of that, I've gone to the gym. Like I've kind of always had a gym membership and always been going to the gym somewhat actively. And this is the first time in my life, the past 3-ish months, that I just haven't gone to the gym. And I've kind of noticed the past few weeks that like it's finally starting to like show of like I feel weak, man. Like I feel like my muscles are atrophying. I think that's what happens after you die, but still, like I feel like a little bitch boy. Like my muscles are like I've clearly lost weight since I moved here. If you go back, I was talking about that today at the musician meetup thing, of like I would probably be willing to bet I've lost. I couldn't even tell you honestly. I haven't weighed myself since January. I would be willing to bet I'm 140. That's a pretty safe bet. But like I haven't gone to the gym and I miss the gym. I miss the feeling of being sore. I miss the exercise. I miss just doing it. I miss sweating. I miss having the routine of it. I miss seeing the results. But man, like any gym worth its salt in LA or Burbank or anywhere really that is affordable and doesn't seem like any equipment I sit down on is going to give me chlamydia, like is so expensive or non-existent. Like an affordable gym membership, and as far as I've looked, $30-$40 a month. Then I look at the reviews. Sat down on a bench, had a fungus on my asshole 2 days later. Doctor said I need to remove my ass. In surgery tomorrow, getting my ass taken off. Thanks, 24-hour fitness world. Or another review like $30 a month, 24 hours. Sat down on the equipment, woke up next morning, bugs crawling in my skin. Drenched in sweat, not my own. So like, where are the affordable... Okay, that's the question. Not everyone in LA has money. I know the thing about LA is it's like big, rich, proper city. I'm a broke some bitch. Where are these people getting money in LA? Because I can't afford an expensive gym membership. And I know all these broke people I'm meeting, a lot of my friends, they can't afford an expensive gym membership. So where the hell is everyone working out? Because I don't feel like working out somewhere where if I lean my arm against a wall and there's a goo coated in it, I'm going to have to amputate my arm. Because, like, some of these places, the pictures and the reviews, it's like, it's only $35 a month. One, that's expensive. Two, you look at the pictures, and it looks like a gym that was used to train, like, soldiers in World War I. Like, what is the economy in LA? How is this sustainable? I think the answer is it's not. It's just kind of, I think LA is a social experiment of like, how long can we see that this lasts before everything hits the fan? Because everything's so expensive. Everything. And I'm scraping by. I'm making it. I'm doing good enough. Somewhat. But Oh, nope, not for me. Um, what in the? It sounds like okay. The other thing about living in LA, I hate Burbank. There's parts of Burbank that living in Burbank is annoying because the Bob Hope Airport is right down the street. And I can hear the airplanes at night. But like, is it not a thing for everyone else that I constantly feel like LA is going to be bombed with nukes because the world is going to shit? Or at least that's what the news says. I've kind of become more optimistic the past like year or so of like I actually think life is going to be okay. I think we're going to be all right as a race of human beings and as a society. But like the news is constantly trying to make us seem like everything's falling apart. So I'm always worried that LA is going to be bombed. And then there's always the thing of like the San Andreas fault could go any day. Yeah, that helps me sleep at night. Thanks for saying that. Yeah. That's like or anyone. That was like moving out to LA. Oh well, oh Landon, I'm gonna be worried about you, but you do know there's earthquakes in LA, right? Yeah, no shit, thanks. That's gonna help me sleep because I wasn't already gonna cry myself to sleep the first few weeks I got to LA every night, but also now I'm also gonna be worried that there's gonna be an earthquake that just opens up while I'm sleeping, opens up under the ground, and I die. So thanks for telling me that information because this move wasn't already hard enough. Wasn't already hard enough. Thank you, my friend. Or like everyone told me that. That or like there's homeless people. No shit. No shit there's homeless people. What do you think I'm going to do? Like live with them? No. Like they're not going to break in, hopefully. Worst case, I can get jiggy with it. I can tussle. Do a little rope a dope, do a little bing bong little Floyd Mayweather action. Got to do what I got to do. If I have to get scrappy, I will. I'm not afraid to punch somebody. That was the first thing actually moving to LA that I learned pretty quickly was like if I have to pepper spray somebody or punch somebody while I'm walking in the street that kind of lunges at me, I will do it, no hesitation, and keep walking. When I first moved here, it wasn't like that. I was a lot more timid, and I very quickly learned like, yeah, okay, Landon, in order to survive, especially because when I moved here, I moved to Hollywood. If I could recommend, if you're going to move to LA, don't move to Hollywood because it is a shithole. I will say it again. Hollywood is a shithole. It is like if let me tell you, if you want baptism by fire, which honestly is kind of my specialty, it's kind of how I like to operate in life. I'm not one to dip my toe in to the water. I'm one to jump in. But I even think myself, moving to Hollywood when I first moved to LA was probably a bad idea because Hollywood is a dump. There's homeless people everywhere. I remember I heard gunshots one night, like my first or second week in LA. And that I didn't sleep the rest of the night. I was already like freaking thinking somebody's going to kick my door down because I never lived alone before, never lived in an apartment before since I was a kid. So like already terrified. And then I hear a mile away. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. That's it. I'm just going to die. That was it. I made it 4 days living in LA before I really like started to have a breakdown. 4 days. That's not very long. I mean, granted, I had just moved 1,800 miles away, having never lived alone before, with very little money in my savings account, and like moving alone to a place that I had only ever been once when I was 13. And on day 4, I literally text my friend. I was like, "Hey, I'll see if I can find it," because I tried to like sugarcoat it and be nice of like, "Hey, I'm if you're not busy, I'd really really like to hang out with you cuz I'm not having a great day." Let's see if I can find it. And that was day 4. It was bad. So, let's see. But then we went on then we hung out a lot, and that was a lot of fun. But Let's see if we can find it. I got to be close. All right. And dear Lord. All right, here we go. Okay. This is January 23rd. Oh, no, that's longer. Oh, no. Okay. So this was day 4, but I had already been in LA or California for a week because I stayed in Joshua Tree for almost a week. It was like 5 or 6 days I stayed in Joshua Tree just to get used to California. And then I moved and I lived in Hollywood for a month in a short-term Airbnb. And on January 23rd, I text Sebastian. I don't know if I should be airing this or talking about this, but I think looking back now, it's funny, and it shows that like I'm a tough cookie. I've made it. Well, I've not made it, not even remotely, but I've made it through some stuff since coming to LA, and it's only been 3 months, not even yet, right? April, May, yeah, not even 3 months yet. But January 23rd, I text Sebastian. I said, "All right, bro, I'm kind of freaking out. So are you free tonight or tomorrow or anytime?" He said, "I don't know about today fully, so I'll let you know, but tomorrow I'm free for sure." And then he said, "You good? What's up?" Then he called me. And I have a video. I don't think I ever put it in a vlog of me just crying in my car. There's multiple. If you go back and watch that first, I'm moving to LA to become a pop star vlog, I would cry multiple times in that video. But there's a video of me like day 4 of being in LA just bawling in my car. Of like, this is so hard. This is so hard. Like, I don't know what to do. And then, you kind of just figure it out. That was the first really rough day. It was bad. And then probably 2 weeks later, after that, I was still in the same short-term Airbnb. That place was a dump. Like it looked nice, but the area was awful, and the neighbors were loud, and the stuff didn't work super well. But I didn't really know about any of it, so I was just like, okay, I guess this is good. But this man, I only ever saw him a few times. This neighbor at this apartment. He was probably a middle-aged gentleman. The only times I ever saw him was he was in a bathrobe. It was the middle of the day. And he was in a bathrobe and flip-flops walking a woman to the gate to let her out. And the woman was in like high-heel black stilettos holding a Louis Vuitton bag, her hair all done, and he looked like a slob. So I don't know whatever conclusions you want to draw from that. Her looking like very tight dress and stilettos and a little Louis Vuitton bag and her hair all did, and the man's in a robe. Whatever conclusions you want to draw from that, go ahead. I'm not going to bring you to them, but the one you are thinking of is I'm almost positively sure it was correct. And one night, probably 2 or 3 weeks into living in LA, I hear the man yell, "Ha!" You ready? He yells, "Fire, fire, everybody get out. Fire, fire, call the police, leave everything. Fire, 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 everybody, leave, run." And he's screaming at 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning. And he did it for the rest of the night. And I didn't sleep for the rest of the night. And not only did he do it for the rest of the night, he did it on and off again for the next few days. And after about the first 5 minutes of shock of like, oh, the building's on fire and I'm going to die, and realizing how like knowing how quickly fire spreads and how quickly a building will burn down. After realizing that, I realized, oh, this man is on a lot of drugs and I don't want to be a part of it. And I don't like living in Hollywood. And then I moved to Echo Park, and I lived in this ADU in this family's backyard in Echo Park, and they were the best. God bless them. I kind of feel bad because I was supposed to leave an Airbnb review to help them, and I completely forgot. And now, I don't know. I just kind of feel bad about it. But it just was it was a lot better. And then I found this place I'm in now, and I love it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Well, I'm getting more of it. Because I'm gonna be here for a while. Just good. I like this place, and it's nice. It's all I need. Um, what was I trying to talk about? Oh, other hard days in LA. So there was that day. That night was really bad. I was truly one of the most scared moments of my life. Of like, I think this guy's gonna come and murder me. One, I thought the place was on fire and I'm going to lose everything. The place is going to burn down and I'm going to die, or I'm going to lose everything and have to move back to Iowa, or this guy's on drugs and he's going to break in and murder me. When I lived in that apartment, there was a little bedside table, and I pushed the bedside table in front of the front door, and then along with locking everything, because I was so scared. But I made it through. I got out of that. Thank God. And then after that, Echo Park, that was nice. Then I had a really bad day. I think it's actually in my last vlog. If you look, I kind of edited around it because I didn't want to show too much of it, and it didn't really work for the story of that vlog or how I was editing that vlog together. But like, I think my number one worst day in LA was for 4 days straight. It was like it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and a Monday, I think, or it was a Friday night, along with a full Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I worked, it was like 65 hours in 4 days or something around that, and I was literally like waking up, working all day, go to bed. Waking up, working all day, going to bed, repeating. And on day 4 of doing that, I was so mentally exhausted and like I felt so defeated that I was just like, it was really one of the only moments I've had in LA of like, am I doing the right thing? Of like, is this worth it? Am I here even for a good reason? Is this worth it at all? And that was rough. That was really the hardest time I've had in LA so far. But I made it through it. And now I have like this nice place. I'm trying to like save money, scrape it together. Man, this is kind of a downer podcast, but I'm kind of just talking about my life, and that's the thing of like, I don't know if I talked about it earlier in this podcast or one of the last podcasts, but like I've lived moments where like I've felt lost and like nothing is going my way in life. So like financial troubles of like, well, it's gonna be a little tight this week, being paycheck to paycheck. I don't know why I sound like a newsie, but like that is nothing compared to how I have felt before in life of like, I'm going to go nowhere. I'm going to do nothing with my life. And I'm just going to like sit and sulk and be nothing. And that is, having gone through that multiple times, it is significantly worse than anything remotely that I have had to go through here. Like even the day of like, the closest really was that one day of like, I've done nothing. I've not seen another or talked to another person in the past 4 days. I have only worked and slept for like, what's 4 times 24? 80, 16, 96 hours. And that was the closest I've gotten to like, this is awful. But I made it through it. And even then I knew like, this will be worth it in the end. And having that idea of like, I'm going to be a pop star. I'm going to be one of the biggest pop stars, artists, songwriters, producers ever. Having that idea in my head of like, I'm going to get there eventually, always makes this worth it. Because in the moments of like, when shit was truly bad, of like, my life is going nowhere, I didn't have that to look forward to. Like I still had all these, like, I want to be creative, I want to be an entertainer, I want to do all this stuff. But I didn't have something that I could directly look towards and be like, this is how I'm working to get there right now. I had no path forward of what the next step was. And even sometimes in times like when I'm tired of working a lot or that kind of stuff, I still have this thing in my head of like, it'll pay off. I don't have it yet, but the main word in that sentence is yet. And I have no problem like seeing how long it takes. Because my favorite, I talked about this, I think it was last week, or I don't know, but I can't remember who I talked this about, but my favorite artists of all time, if I go through all my favorite artists and when they released my favorite albums of theirs, Billy Joel was, I think, 27 when he put out The Stranger. Taylor Swift was 29 or 30 years old when she put out Folklore. Elton John was mid to late 20s when he put out Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. And then he was in his 30s when he put out Too Low for Zero. Like, and that, if you continually go down the list of my favorite artists, they're all like that for the most part. Not all of them, but for the most part, they're all early 30s, late 20s, mid to late 20s. So, like, I'm 21. I'm a child. I know nothing about life, which is kind of exciting. I kind of enjoy that, but I also know, like, I have no issue working as much as I have to and working harder than everyone else because there is nothing else. It's just music. It's just music. And but it's exciting and it's fun and I love it. And I love, I can't remember who I saw say this or who I read or who I heard say this or however you want to say that. But I read somewhere that someone said, the way you know you truly love what you're doing is if the work that sucks, you still enjoy. So for me, it's like writing the captions on social media and uploading and editing them, or editing certain aspects and having to do super specific things for video and audio editing. And then number one for me is tuning vocals on songs makes me want to completely quit music. It's the only thing I truly hate is tuning vocals. And even then, would I rather tune vocals for 8 hours a day or work at a business job or corporate cubicle job or something? I'd rather tune vocals. And as much as I hate it, I would hate a corporate job 9 to 5 more. And that's how I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing, because I love this more than I love the bad of this more than I like the good of most other things. And for me, that's how I know I'm doing the right thing, and it helps me stay motivated. And the thing, should I talk about this? Yeah, I don't really care. I'll be all right. The good thing is the people that I reference, I'm not going to say directly, and they probably won't watch it anyways. So there was someone, I'm going to be very vague. There was someone I was talking to. Well, there's been multiple people that have told me this, but there's the one I'm thinking about specifically. There was someone I was talking to, and they said, I don't think you know how long it's going to take. They said something to the sort of that, of like, you don't know how long this is really going to take, Landyn. Of like, I'm telling you that you think this is going to take a month, 6 months, however long. And obviously, I've talked about it before. I make these really grandiose and like super high goals that are just insane goals because I know it gives me something to shoot towards. But when this person told me that, and it is similar things have been told that to me before, of like, I don't think you realize how long it's going to take. I think one of my biggest pet peeves, I'm kind of a hothead just in general. It's something I'm trying to work on a lot, but I think one of my biggest pet peeves is when people tell me what they think I think. Like, you think this. Like, when people tell me that, like, they're telling me what I think, I literally want to, like, they point at me, I want to grab their finger, break their finger, and eat it in front of them. Don't ever, ever tell me what I think. I know what I think. You don't have a clue what I think. Because even if I tell you what I think, you're not going to believe me, and you're going to choose to believe something else. So, like, when that person said, you think this is going to take less time than it will. I was so angry. And I get it, like, I'm not mad because I know it came from a good place of, like, the person being caring and, like, trying to, I don't, like, be supportive, but, like, I don't even know. I don't know why you would, I know it came from a good place, but I don't know why you would say that to somebody. I don't know why somebody is chasing their dreams and somebody would go, yeah, but it's going to take longer than you think it is. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you try to lessen someone's excitement of something they're trying to do that is good for them? It feels so cheap to me. And I don't know. There's probably part of it of, like, I get mad because I have a lot of insecurities about being an artist. And I think a lot of artists do have, like, imposter syndrome, and that despite the fact that I always say I'm, like, how hard I'm working and how much I'm doing, I always kind of feel like I'm not doing enough. And I know, I literally already know I'm doing more than other people. Like, I meet new artists, I meet new people and new artists that are trying to do similar things. And I know I'm working harder than them. But just based on, like, what I can see of, like, social media stuff, and I can directly look at the output of content they're making and how much music they've put out and how driven they are. And I know I can look and be like, I'm working harder than these people, but I still am very insecure about, like, I don't think I'm working hard enough, and maybe I'm not working hard enough, and that's going to make it fail. And part of that is probably why, like, I get mad when people say, well, you don't know how long it's going to take. Like, one, yeah, people putting words in my mouth and saying, you think, it makes me want to scream and shit out fire onto them and set them on fire with my shit fire and watch them burn and pee on them and then put them out, because I'm not going to let them die, but I'm going to let them burn. It makes me furious. But the other thing is, like, I think it just really goes to the insecurity of, like, maybe I'm not good enough as an artist. Maybe I'm working this hard and it's not working because I'm not good enough. And I know that comes from insecurity. Pure, plain and simple, comes from being, like, imposter syndrome. It's just being insecure. And I'm really trying to work on that of, like, I've been shown since I've gotten to LA that how do I want to say it? Since I've gotten to LA, I have been shown and seen that the things I am doing and the level of quality and the consistency and the tenacity and the determination that I'm showing to become a pop star is a cut above everyone I'm meeting at my level. And there are a ton of talented people in LA. Like, a ton. And I'm so perfectly willing to say that there are more talented people here than me, at my level and obviously above me. But I've been shown, and it's been proven to me a lot that, like, even the people that are more talented than me, I don't think they want it as much as I do. I think a lot of the people here that want to do like pop music and become pop artists, I just don't see the level of work they're putting in that I am. I've seen it I've seen similar things a few times, but like I think a big thing that I talked about, I think in the last podcast of like, or maybe the next one, I don't know if this has come out or the Q&A episode has come out, but I think a big thing for me is like I moved to LA because I knew that I was going to run out of money eventually. And once I started to get hungry, that the insecurities of like, what are people going to think? What if this, what if that, what if I'm not good enough? All those fears and insecurities and all that anxiety, like when I knew that once my stomach started to grumble and I got a little hungry and I hadn't eaten, I was going to have to choose pretty quickly. Like, look, Landyn, you can be insecure and you have to work through those things, but like you are hungry and you don't have a lot of money. So I know you're insecure, but if you want to eat, you kind of have to nut up or shut up and like get your shit together. Cause like you can be insecure, but if you choose not to do this, you're going to starve. And I knew that would help me stay motivated and stay working. And it really has. I think the best thing I've ever done for myself was move to LA. And I think I've said that before because it has made me, I didn't realize how hard I could work and how consistently hard I can work and how like pulling myself up by my bootstraps and like just putting in the hours on all of it I could be until I moved out here. And I'm really proud of myself for that. And it's both really inspiring and like it's really inspiring. And it's good to see that like somebody told me a few weeks ago at one of the event meetups of like I showed them my social media. I showed them all my releases. They listened to one of my songs and they looked at everything and they looked at my cover art and all the content I'm putting out and all my vlogs and all this stuff. And we talked and the guy goes, it's just another, I think it was another, or he was a producer and just around the same level as me. And he goes, this is, I honest to God, I think this is the best compliment somebody can give me is it's only a matter of time. That, like, hearing somebody else that is in music, in the community in LA, in the music community, and being able to look around and be like, it's only a matter of time, of, like, seeing everything I'm doing and them being like, yeah, this is going to work. That, I think, is the best compliment I can be given. Either that or like talking about my music taste of like, I really do think it is that. Of the best compliment I can be given right now is people acknowledging and giving me credit for the amount of work I'm putting in, because there are times when like, I don't know if I'm getting emotional because it sounds like my voice is kind of shaky, but I could probably cry if I started to talk about it more and go into it more. But I'm going to try not to. I'm going to try to power through, because if I cry, this podcast will be over. At least this episode, not the whole show. But the most rewarding thing for me is that, one, I'm starting to see like actual fans and an actual audience being built slowly but surely, and people that care and that like I've talked to and are nice people, and that I'm slowly building like a real platform and a real audience that I like want to put out music to, which is a weird thing. I never thought that part of releasing music for me would be releasing music because I want to give my fans something. That was never something that crossed my mind. But I I think someone here recognizing my hard work that's in music and that can really see it of how just like hungry I am. Not like food hungry, but like of how determined I am to make this work. Someone someone else recognizing that for me and like giving me props and being like you're you're doing good. Like just like it's not the like somebody saying like it's not that I'm not good enough, it's just that it's hasn't been long enough. Um that really makes me feel good. And if I go into it more, I will cry, I think. I can kind of feel it. I can feel the I can feel like the tear ducts, the aqueducts, whatever, ducks, the Scrooge McDucks in my eyes kind of welling up a bit. So if I went into it further, I'd probably cry. And I also made a really bad joke, which means I'm trying to skirt away from the vulnerability, which is my thing because I love doing that. Being vulnerable, no bueno, not a fan. I do not like being vulnerable, but being funny, making you laugh, yes, I'm a fan. Um, but it like, what was this podcast about? Now that I think about it, was this about anything? I kind of just like not trauma dumped, but like bared my soul a little bit. I gave you a little bit, and I kept a lot for myself to be private because I'm still a human being. But I don't know. Like, it slowly feels like things are working in LA. It slowly feels like I am becoming who I need to be as an artist in building this thing. I don't know, to be successful. And like, oh man, this glass just freaking spilled on my crotch. Great. All right, well, that's annoying. But I don't know. I'm in an odd mood today. I'm not sad. Actually, I just think it's a rainy day, a little less energy, a little less bright, uppity, very energetic Landyn, kind of a more down tempo, little low key Landyn. You little low key Landyn today, and gosh, that energy drink isn't helping. I can't be the only one. Like anyone that regularly drinks energy drinks, all of you are aware, right, that like they don't do anything anymore. To me, at least, and I know other people that like they drink them and they're like, this didn't help. It's also probably like the severe ADHD too, because I know caffeine responds to people with ADHD's brains differently compared to like normal people, and it doesn't have the same effects. Which is why I think the energy drink isn't helping and why I'm tired. But I don't know. This was kind of a more down tempo, just bearing my soul episode. And I kind of vibe with it. Kind of a more it's important to be vulnerable and to share my highs and my lows and my woes and my woes and my woes with y'all. I think it's a good thing. And I think I really don't know what else we could talk about in this episode. I kind of gave y'all a lot, and I hope you enjoyed it. But I think I'm gonna wrap this one up a bit. I'm gonna start giving y'all recommendations at the end of each episode. So this week's recommendation is going to be obviously I'm gonna give you two. One's short. One's Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso. Literally short. I think she's 5'9", 5'10". She's short, quick song, banger. The other recommendation, Found Heaven by Conan Gray. It is a really good album. It's great. I have the record right there. It's a really great album. And I think y'all would like it if you like my music, like the synth poppy stuff. You'll like Found Heaven. And And I don't know. I just think that's it for this episode. So, follow me on social media. Watch the YouTube video if you're listening to the audio. If you're watching the YouTube video, follow the audio. And then you can do a little swippy swap if you're in the car, and then you can come back and you can watch the video, or vice versa. But overall, I think this episode's done. And I think we're good. We're wrapping up. Send me a Q&A questions if you want to be part of the Q&A next episode. Just shoot me a little DM. Whatever Q&A questions you got, personal, funny, dumb, whatever you got, something. And you'll be in the next Q&A episode. But that's it for me today, y'all. I have been Landyn Zane. Have a good day. Now he's thinking about me, yeah, I know. Isn't that sweet espresso? All right, now I am done.